Hello, hello, can you hear me? Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll wait 2 minutes. Maybe other people will join, but this is recorded, so they can always watch it later. So we will start in 2 minutes. I see we have also some Polish people in the chat. That's lovely, because actually I am from Poland. One more minute and we will start. Okay, it's 2 past, so let's begin. So welcome everyone to my channel. This is the first live transmission, something new to me. So I hope you will be kind. I have prepared agenda for this live stream, and we will start with the introduction. How I started with BLs, with manga, how my channel started, to give you a little more context. And we can better understand what's going on in here. So first, my first time with BL was when I was 15. So this is where I discovered this genre. I was quite young, and I think many of us were in a similar position. And I talk about this because many young people come to my channel and ask about this kind of things or share their struggles. Because let's be honest, this is not something widely accepted around the world. Of course, it differs based on the country, but it's a little difficult to consume this kind of content without any bias. So the first manga slash anime for me was Junio Romantica. And I have actually few volumes in my collection, 9 volumes to be precise. You could see a picture before because I shared it. It's my holy grail. And maybe next time I will have a stream dedicated to holy grails in my collection where I will share very vintage BLs because they are very hard to come by. In case of Junio Romantica, you cannot purchase them at bookstore anymore. They were discontinued. There are only finite amount of them on the market, and I was very lucky to actually purchase English print from Sweden. It was from the second hand, which I'm a little bit on the edge when it comes to that, because I love my volumes, copies in a pristine condition. And most of them were read online, and I purchased them to put them on my shelf because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, collector. So I don't usually touch them too much. But obviously we enjoy our mangas in different ways. And also the big thing for me is supporting the authors, because if we don't support them, they will stop producing new chapters. So this is how I first encountered BL. What was my first one of the favorites BLs in my life, and it's still ongoing online. Junior Romantica is still going online. You can read it, although you cannot purchase it in English. There's another series, the world's greatest first love. It's from the same author, and this one is being released in English print. I like to over-explain things, so in the future, if it's too much to you, then just please leave a feedback or comment, then I will include this in the future. But again, we have different type of audience. We have very young people who ask me a lot of questions. I read all of the comments and I answer as earnestly as possible. And we also have more seasoned readers, and it can be a little bit boring, so try to bear with me when I explain those things. And interesting part about long-running series, because those two mangas which I talked about are long-running series or span over multiple years, and they are often dropped or not even taken into print because it's a high risk to printing company. Because why I know that? Because I was researching the reasons why Junior Romantica was not being published anymore. Although it's quite popular manga with anime adaptation, which was breaking all the records over the globe. And yet it was discontinued. It was stopped after season 3, if I'm correct. So that's why printing companies, publishing companies don't take long-running series. They try to focus on series which are done, so they are finished. So that's why it looks like this. But enough about how I started with BLs. Let's talk a little bit about channel roots, how it came to be. So I started this channel around 2 years ago. Beginnings were quite rough, because obviously in this type of content, everyone wants engagement, subscribers, likes, comments. This is our rewards for content creators, at least for me. Of course, there's this in the future, big channels, maybe some kind of incentives. But for me, it was about engagement. It still is and will be. So at the beginning it was rough, but also why it came to be. There's another reason. I had very difficult mentally time, like 3 years ago, and I was leaning into hobbies to connect, to look out for people who are likewise minded, who enjoy similar content. And that's a funny thing, because when I was, obviously we have our favorite YouTubers. And actually many of them started their channels because of some crisis, because of heartbreak, because of they lost something or someone in their lives, and they tried to use this as an escape. And usually those ones are very popular ones. So it was a little bit similar for me. There was a difficult time, and I tried to occupy my mind with something different. But also I'm a very techish person, and I chose this as an opportunity to learn something new, because maybe it doesn't always look like this. There goes a lot of time in preparation. I took a lot of time to prepare for this live stream. I also purchased some things before for recording. So everyone likes to shop, and I enjoy tech equipment. So it was a great opportunity to shop something. So this is why this was one of the big drivers to start at the beginning, and motivation, because obviously engagement was not high. So that was not the case for me. At the moment, we have very high engagement, at least to me, 12,500 subscribers. is something I'm very proud of. Of course, it's nothing crazy comparing to channels with multi-million audience, but for me, I'm extremely happy. And I have 3 different platforms: Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. YouTube is the most successful when we talk about subscribers. I was uploading videos like 2 years ago. I had few hundred views, and then one video went viral. Let's call it like that. Although it was not viral, it was few thousand views, and this was like a big kick for me to go into that direction. Other platforms are not as successful as this one. YouTube grew very rapidly during last year, and this was a great motivation. But for example, on TikTok, I have viral video, which is very funny. I'm not exactly sure why it went viral. There are obviously some indicators, and maybe just give me a second. So this manga, I think Our Son is Gay by Okura. This went viral. Obviously, I have video about this one on YouTube too. It's still a mystery, but I have over 900,000 views and it's still going strong. But it doesn't translate to the subscribers. So I have like 800 followers on TikTok with 900,000 video. Yeah, so other platforms are not as successful. There's also Instagram, which is much older than any of those channels, because I was posting my older shelves there, older books, when the collection was very small, and just sharing some pictures, but it never grew beyond something crazy. So we are where we are. And the last thing from the introduction, and I promise I will go into books because I think this is the main star of the event, is the name of the channel. So we have BL underscore yaoi underscore manga underscore world. Not the best name, a little bit long, hard to search, so not very good for marketing. But there were obvious reasons to me behind them. So BL stands for Boys Love. It's a genre in English for this type of books, this type of content. Then we have yaoi. It's a Japanese name for the genre. And interesting bit between those two, I don't think in English, boys love, it's always about mature content. So whenever there is a boys love tag, it doesn't mean there will be explicit content, 18 plus content. But when it comes to yaoi, it's boys love plus mature content. So there will be always some sexy time in there, at least throughout my experience. There are different genres. I'm not super into it. I'm more into what I'm consuming, not naming it. So I'm by no means an expert. So yeah, so we have BL, yaoi, and manga world. Manga stands for all type of mangas because I have different types also. Not only BLs. I have romance, and when it comes to genres which I enjoy, so BL is on the first place. Then there's like let's say standard romance between men and women. I also have some spicy ones, and in the future maybe there will be also dedicated video for that. And I have other types like Magi, like Blue Exorcist, which I really enjoy, One Punch Man. So I also have those. So this is what manga stands for, and world is like a full circle which encompasses for everything. So that's the idea behind the name. Yeah, and again, I'm over explaining because there is sometimes younger audience, and maybe they don't understand the difference between BL and yaoi. Like it's the same thing. And the last thing from the introduction, obviously I'm checking my notes, so I'm not missing anything. Okay, there's a comment BL. Do you want to add something to this BL? Boys love? Okay, if you will comment something more, we'll come back. Where do I purchase my books? This is very, very, very common question. I purchase my books from Amazon. Why? Because I live in Europe. Only you, maybe not only, but mostly UK is English-speaking country. My family actually lives there. And obviously, if you try to purchase manga, I don't enjoy mangas in my native language, although they are much, much cheaper. And fun fact, they are often ahead of English releases. So there's more content in my native language. But it's very difficult to obtain locally English copies. So there are bookstores which import from US or Canada or Australia. I even got some from Australia in English. And usually the cheapest option, because let's be honest, it costs money, it's not a cheap hobby, is Amazon. So I purchase from Amazon. I have Prime, so it's a free delivery. Okay, no, my bad. I was just surprised. Long time since I have heard someone specific difference between BL. So it was Niall. Yeah. I like to explain things. I like to talk about different things. So I'll be jumping from time to time. I'll be also referencing some memes because I enjoy them, and maybe some people won't get them, and I will look like a fool. But I just wanted to make it like a chat with my friends. So I'm super goofy, super funny. And this is like where I try to go with those live streams. Like when I record movies or shorts, I'm extremely focused to make it perfect. And it's not always about perfect because I used a lot of time on some content on even different channels, and it's not paying off. So you spend hours and hours, but people don't notice it. And there are great content creators with amazing content. But they are not recognized because algorithm doesn't love them or whatever. So yeah. So I'm goofy, and also there's one more characteristic. I have short-term memory loss, how I like to call it. Dory from Where is Nemo. So sometimes I will just talk about something and forget, and after a few minutes it will come back to me. But when you do a public speaking, which I do at my job, it's kind of problematic. But anyway, so yeah, Amazon is cheapest option, all in English. Not many local bookstores with English copies. And obviously the price is the thing. What I also wanted to mention, another educational aspect, is English prints versus Japanese prints. I was very lucky to go to Japan. It was 4 years ago. So it's a distant memory now, although I still cry when I watch those pictures, and it was everything I hoped for and imagined to be there. It was pure bliss. I also was very, again, I'm drifting away from the main topic, but I have to tell this. So I was very lucky because it was very spontaneous trip for 2 weeks. We booked flights, we went there, and it was a cherry blossom period. It was sakura, how they, not sakura, but oh my god, there was a different name for that. But anyway, so the petals were falling. It was like winning a lottery, because you can go there and there's a period of blooming. This is the one thing. But there's also another detail to that, when they are mature enough, when the petals start falling, when the wind is blowing. And this is another golden opportunity. And it was actually this period of time. So extremely lucky. People go crazy to be able to see that. and first try, and it was successful. Maybe next year we'll go again. But back to the English versus Japanese prints. Mangas as a medium usually in Japan is like something very cheap. So the paper quality is very poor. It becomes yellowish very easily. The size is very small. But when it comes to English prints, like we have this one on a shelf right now, so this is kind of similar to Japanese versions, although the quality is a little bit better, and it becomes yellowish after some time a little bit. That's the paper quality, let's call it like that. But there are prints which you can see behind. Maybe let's go with this one. So it's big, shiny. There's a texture which you won't see most of the. Oh, let's not go in there. We don't want YouTube to hate us and our algorithm. Yeah, so this was explicit content. But yeah, the quality is very different from what you have in Japan, and I think it's a nice detail. There's also this thing about English, Japanese ones, when you have this book sleeve. I think it's called like that. So you see the cover is very plain, and you have like this book sleeve, which makes it a little more pretty. And here you have some effects. Although I like it, it's nice, but not so great when you handle the book because, again, I'm afraid I will damage it. But I also guess there's another reason for that where you can, use it as a bookmark. So you can fold it like this and you know where you left. So that's the difference between Japanese and English ones. So English ones can be expensive. Japanese are usually very cheap, and actually my country versions, native versions, are very similar to Japanese ones. Okay, if you have any questions, just fire them. I check chat from time to time. Yeah, but now we move into manga showcase section. So we have two series which you can see in front. I will focus on two of them today. The one on the left, actually, I just received the 6th volume, which you can see in front, and I thought it's a great opportunity to showcase it. And also, again, side note, why I showcase things, why I share them. It's not only about showing the newest title or showing the book, it's about the product. I'm type of person which really enjoy to understand what they are purchasing. So, especially when it comes to visual details, like you have those unboxing videos, reviews videos. So this is a similar fashion to me. You can see how the book looks like before you purchase it, because it's not a wise thing to buy the book as soon as it's released, because it's usually the moment where it's the most expensive. And that's true for Amazon, I would say. Many titles are very quickly discounted after some time, or maybe not discounted, but price drop. And recently, or maybe not so recent, the prices went up a lot. So it's kind of straining to purchase, especially when you purchase so many titles as I do. I collect a lot of them. Long time ago, there were few BL titles. Now it's crazy. There are so many. It's so difficult to keep up. Like my collection, one of the videos will also show my whole library as a collective. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shelves, and the last one is a double shelf. So you can see those shelves. It's like more than 500 titles, and I'm running out of space. So it gets expensive very, very quickly. So I'm showcasing this so you know if you really want it, if you really like it, because some people are on budget. Yeah, but back to those two titles. The Other World's Books depend on the bean counter. Very mouthful title, very long one. One of my favorites isekais. Again, isekai. What's isekai? It's a transmigration to another world. So we are moving from one world to another. And there's also interesting bit about that because, like, for example, from my non-BL mangas, there's this, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And there's this reincarnation bit in here. So at the beginning, I thought, oh, isekai means I'm being reincarnated in another world. That's not the case always. You are selling those books? No, I'm not selling those books. This is my private collection. Sometimes people think this is a bookstore, or because I also have different collectibles in this specific room. Pokemons. This is one of the things I also collect. And when I take pictures, they think, "Oh, this is so well stuffed shop," but it's not a shop. It's my private collection. But going back to isekais, isekai is not always about reincarnation. You can be transmigrated. Your soul can be switched between people. You can die and then your soul go into the person without someone else going into your body. And you can transport entirely. And in this case, in case of those two books, those two BLs, it's about transportation to another world in your own body. It's not about your soul or being reborn or another life. It's under the umbrella of isekai. But yeah, this one is about teleportation, I would say, more in that sense. So that's the difference. So on the left, it was one of the few introductions when it comes to BLs to isekai, because isekai is not so young anymore as a genre or type of a story. And it was one of my first introductions in BLs. It was one of the first titles because I'm quite up to date with them. And I was really thrilled by this one. It's really good. Connecting to what we talked about yaoi and boys' love. This one, the Other Worlds books, depend on the bean counter, is not an 80 plus type of book. I would say it's 13 plus when it comes to recommendation of the age. But obviously we do what we do, but don't come back crying to me that I didn't warn you. But this one is okay for a younger audience. There's a sexy time in a sense that there's intimacy, there's some suggestions that something is happening, but you cannot see too much. So it's very mild when it comes to this type of content. For some people, it's important to know about that. To me, it doesn't make any reason, not reason, but difference. Sometimes I'm even like, I'm not so much into this over-sexualized content in those books, unfortunately, but it's a big part of that. But we'll talk about this maybe in a different video. Yeah, I love seeing content creators actually doing stuff like this. It's so nice knowing a content creator who explains things. Thank you very much. I'm happy that you enjoy this. At the end, I will also ask for a feedback and I will explain why I ask about that. But let's leave it for the closing section. Yeah, but back to our book. So it's much more appropriate for a wider audience. People again ask me about some titles without sex, basically, or mature content, and this is one of those. Although this one is obviously much milder. I think Our Son is Gay. There's no sexual content in there. It's more about falling in love and how things go. Another great example would be this one, which is My Love Mix-Up. And it doesn't fall into category of yaoi at all. Boys Love, I'm not so sure. It's like shoujo beat who is a publisher or co-publishing. So it's like a slice of life, school life. You would call this one. You would call them this instead of maybe boys' love, and huge uproar around this one, which is the summer Hikaru died. What is it? Is it BL? Is it yaoi? Is it horror? Is it whatever? But everyone is crazy about this. So yeah, this one is more acceptable for bigger audience. What's happening in this manga? Office worker who is called Kondu. Sorry if I butchered the names. On his way back home, overworked person, typical Japanese culture of work, being exploited, tired, no meaning in life, blah blah blah, is going back home and he hears a lady in distress screaming for help, and he sees some black hole on the street is sucking, no pun intended, the lady into different dimension. And he goes, and obviously as a hero, good person, tries to pull her out, but he got sucked in. And that's how the story ends. I won't go into too many details. Probably many of you already know this book because it's very popular. But that's the premise, how the story starts. The main two characters is Kondu, so the one on the left with the glasses, Neko, if you would like to call him that, in English term bottom, and then we have Aresh, who is big baddie, younger than the Neko. So there's a interesting dynamic between them and how things are progressing. Let me check. So there's anime adaptation. I'm still in front. I'm still waiting to watch it. I think it finished releasing episodes, so it's complete at the moment, or maybe it's like 2 episodes away. So when it's done, I will watch it. I watched the trailer. They don't look exactly like they do in the manga, and I don't like that. I can only guess it was because of budget constraints. I think in manga they look better comparing to the anime. So this is like a small sample how they look like. So this is the Holy Maiden, the girl which was sucked in. This is like the prince. And let me see the jealousy scene. Where is it? Which I bookmark. So this is Big Baddie being angry and jealous of his princess in distress. So I really enjoyed this scene in volume 6. It's for now. It's the last one, maybe not the last one, but the latest one, released very recently. I'm ahead with the story a little bit when it comes to online chapters, and most likely there will be more. Like I'm ahead. They are more like a side stories, like showcasing from different points of views what happened throughout the story. I hope there will be more. And maybe like with this manga, which I will show you, although it's not a manga, it's manhwa, Cherry Blossom After Winter. This is also very mild, not yaoi for sure, boys love, romance, but no explicit scenes. And there's a next series which happens after this one, which is Spring. I don't remember exactly the title, but Cherry Blossom Spring or something like that. Next season, let's call it like that. And there's a mature content in there. So they go hard in there. So maybe this will happen with this one. This is also something what happens very often in different types of this milder versions. When there's like the beginning, it's nothing crazy, and then new seasons, they become serious. Okay, so I'm not such a crazy fan about manga, or not sorry, about anime adaptation when it comes to visuals. I heard many good things about the story, so I guess they are quite accurate when it comes to the story. Oh my god, gay. Yes. Yes, it's terrible. Moving on. Yeah, so that's the story behind the oh my god, I'm losing my words. Anyway, let's focus on the second one for now. There's a reason why I put them together. My younger knight takes care of me in another world, so also isekai. And I was very excited about this one because I read some previews of what it will be before it was released. And I was very hopeful based on the previous one. The other world's books depend on the bean counter. It was still being released. It was like third volume, so I was hungry for this type of content and was looking for different mangas like that. And this came on my radar. I got it. I started reading it, and then I was like, "What the hell is happening in here?" Because like, am I reading the same manga? Like, is it the same? Is it the same person? Or hello, newcomer. So I was like, is it the same? Like, what's happening in here? Like, is the same author or what's going on? So again, the Neko, the bottom, is being sucked with the lady into another world, being summoned. They are not able to speak with each other because they have different languages. There's also the same problem with the main protagonist when it comes to, because the world which they are transported into is a world where you have magic, and both of them have no immunity against magic, so they are sick and they need support, let's call it like that, from the um, hero to adjust, and you can only imagine how they are helping them to accommodate the mana around them, not only the mana, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is what's happening in there. So like, the story is the same, the premise is the same. There's one addition in My Younger Knight, the Beastman flavor. So the hero character is a beastman. He can transform into wolf, and there are difficulties coming from that. Not my favorite trope, but nothing crazy is happening when it comes to that. Although this is yaoi, this is sexy time, full blown. We won't be going through it one by one because, again, we don't want YouTube to hate us. But there's explicit content in here, so you were warned. Only 2 volumes. I don't think there'll be much more over sexualized, and also warning in here when it comes to this one. So you have to be careful. Yeah, so that was a big disappointment. Their OG original is much better. The story is much better. The dynamic is better. Visually, both of them are very nice. If you want to purchase only one, my big recommendation would go towards the Kazuki Irodori one, so one on the left. But if you want to explore, you can go for both, or the right one. Yeah, so what else we can say? Beastman, weak body towards mana. Cute, but first one is way better. 2 volumes, 18 plus content. So this is basically it when it comes to those two mangas. We can also showcase the covers and how it looks like. Although there is a video on my channel where I showcase this one, because again, it's one of my favorites. So let's go. If you have any questions, please free to ask. There will be one more section to this stream, and then we will finish. This cover looks really nice. I don't know why. Maybe the yellow accent makes it stand out. Although I prefer reddish colors. So the latest one is also very cute. Where can I buy this manga? You have to rewatch this video. I spent like 5 minutes talking about this, but joking, I purchased my manga on Amazon. I explained why, but if you want to know why it's Amazon for me, you can watch this again after the stream, but it's Amazon for me. Cheapest option and convenient. And Amazon is like worldwide company. So if you live in small country, there's a high probability it will be available. Even more like Germany. It's an interesting case because they have so many BLs in their native language. It's crazy. Like they are not even in English, but they are printed in German. So they are very blessed money-wise in that aspect. Okay, then let's go to the closing section. 1 minute. Okay, so wider spectrum of manga coming soon. There is maybe an option for some collaborations in the future. So there will be also different titles, not so BL focused on the channel. So this is something to look out for in the future. Feedback. I'm very open to any feedback. It's so hard to get BL in America. Oh, that's very surprising. Very surprising, since this is where we import them from most of the time. Because like, let's see, so US, like even like you have US and Canadian currency, and when was it printed? Obviously, Yen Press, all those big publishers are usually located in US or sometimes UK, printed in United States of America. So it's tricky for me. And I have one from Australia. Let me see, is it... Let me show you the spicy non-BL one. Where was it printed? It doesn't show, but this is as a bonus. Fire in his fingertips. This is the spicy one. Let's call it normal one, which I also read. Although I'm not up to date with this one, but still. Must be the state I live in. Maybe. If you didn't try Amazon, try Amazon. If not, then Google AI now is your big friend, big buddy. Which can support with that. Sometimes even when people ask me, especially from non-English speaking countries, like where they can purchase it, I go onto like Google and try to find out to help them. So yeah, so this happens. But going back to the feedback. So it's obviously the first live stream. I look for the best angle. I also wanted to make it a little more fancy, to maybe add some music in the background, but it wasn't as simple as that, because I would have to use an external program on laptop, connect phone to laptop, so I can add those interesting bits. Maybe next time when I will have more time, I will do this differently. But yeah, if you want more of something, then please say so. If you want less, then please say so. If you like something, also I will be very happy to hear that. If you hate something, you can keep it for yourself. We are not here for hating. So haters gonna hate. I'm sometimes a hater, but I always try to be as kind as possible, because why not? Okay, then we came to an end. The last point is questions. So if you have any more questions, then please go ahead and ask your questions, and I will try to answer more. Like, how long we are live at the moment? Do I have any information? Yeah, 36 minutes. So we are already above what I assumed we would be, and I also assumed or didn't expect too many people to pop up, or any people to pop up. So I'm very happy that we had some people present, which is very nice. I don't get discouraged easily, so there will be more for sure, even maybe in 2 or 3 days. I have a lot of series to show, a lot of series to talk about, and also some interesting discoveries. I'm not such a fan of showcasing on my channel online content like mangas from internet or stolen, maybe not stolen, but scanlations. People scan those mangas and they are not through official channels and share this content and build their channels on that. I don't want to do that. So we'll focus mostly on physical copies. Yeah, and hopefully maybe we'll have some collaborations in the future with publishing companies like Yen Press, Tokyo Pop, Seven Seas Entertainment, but we'll see. There was some discussions with Yen Press, but they went silent at some point, so that's a pity. Yeah. Any other question? Do you have any knowledge on when the next season of Sasaki and Miyano is coming out? To be honest, let me show you something. I hope you don't see my belly. But 1 second. I don't know when it will be coming out. I also read very little of the series, but obviously I have all the releases. So I purchased all of the Sasaki and Miyano volumes, also Hirano and Kagirua, and also the special art book. I have it on my. It's beautiful. It looks really nicely. That's why I bought it. As I said, I'm a hoarder. So no, it's official comic anthology. I thought art book. No, it's not an art book. So yeah, so I have it. It looks very nice. I promised myself to read it. Unfortunately, I focus on newer or different series instead of reading what I have, and that's a problem. Yeah. So this is the status. No, I don't have all the manga. Unfortunately, I don't have. Also, I need to be very cautious when it comes to space, because I want to maximize efficiency when it comes to collecting, and this takes a lot of space, the physical copies. Yeah, we talked about the price problem, because there is a common, I wish I could afford this. So I don't want to brag, but I have a good job. So I make my money. I also live in my space. And why I'm talking about this, because again, some people comment that they cannot read it, they cannot purchase it because their family would. I won't use a word, which you can all guess what they say. They would do to them. Because they live with their parents or they live in a homophobic country or whatever. So my family at the beginning wasn't very thrilled about the content I consume, but they came around, so it's not crazy when it comes to family, so we are fine with that. Yeah, but it's my own space, my own money, so I do what I want with it. Uh, so this is also a way of me sharing with those people who cannot maybe afford or purchase. It's some kind of substitute. It's like licking a candy through a window. When you have those workshops where they do the shows, live shows where they make candy, so you can lick through the glass. Yeah, it's not that I cannot afford. That's a problem. I live either with my parents still. Yeah, so there are different reasons why it's a problem for collecting those. When I started collecting manga, it was many years ago. I had a very small collection, and it was mostly about one of the first titles which I still have, but I didn't continue collecting. Is Seraph of the End, which I read online. I enjoy, but it was like one of the first ones. Vampires, angels, magic, post-apocalyptic environment. So this one was one of interesting ones, which I started collecting. What was your first manga, or do you have any mangas? That's also interesting bit for me. To me, do you have any favorites? Yeah, even if I bring a BL in front of my parents, they would confiscate it. That's an unfortunate bit. But that would be the same for me, I would say, when I was younger. Yeah. Okay. Any other question or anything you want to talk about? Because I ran out of the main agenda for today, so now it's up to you. I don't like to say guys. I like to say people or you all, because guys, it's like more male focused. Although I think it's genderless, although it's crazy to say it's genderless term. Okay, I see no questions. Then, oh, the official's blessing manga. I love it's the Chinese, maybe not the Chinese. Maybe it is Chinese ones, but the setup is like in China styled environment. Is that correct? And is it not a novel? So I thought it's a novel, or maybe there is a novel and manga format. Yeah. So the books are very pretty. Spiciness is constant. Do you have a good book recommendation where its spiciness is consistent? I see we have some naughty readers. um, hmm. Let me bring my ladder so I can reach to the higher shelf. One second. Consistent spiciness. That's a difficult one, but maybe I won't be very original. But this one could be an answer. It's beloved by most of you, and it's this one. Hate me, but let me stay. So I feel it's spicy every volume. There's spiciness and tension between main characters, although this is not my favorite. It's beloved by many people. The content with this one is very popular, but yeah. But you asked about spiciness, so this is something I would. Oh, I have great recommendation. Wait a second. I have very good recommendation. Very, very, very good. Second. I won't bring all of them. There are 8 volumes. As you can see, I use these plastic covers for some of them to protect my precious little books. This one, Blue Morning. Also one of the first ones which I acquired. 8 volumes. Very good, very good. Young Lord, 90s or 80s Japan, Easter Revolution, something like that. Because you see those suits, and this is when invasion from US came. So I would say maybe something around 90s when it comes to time period. So the aristocratic or higher layers of society started to dress up like that. And this one is a butler for this family. And obviously this is the one. So he's older, much older than the little lord. He educates him and so on and so on. And you can imagine what's going on. But it's very nice. It's spiciness, consistent spiciness. And spiciness doesn't necessarily mean sexy time. It's called like that. It's more about the tension between characters and how it develops throughout the time and the story. So this one would be great recommendation in my opinion. Mafia one. There are a few ones with Mafia. One second. Let me grab Mafia. So there's Mafia, which is this one. Mobsters in Love. 3 volumes. I read first one. I really liked it and somehow forget to read other twos. So this is Big Boss, and this is Right Hand, which is in love and the Big Boss. So kind of cliche storyline. So this is also like interesting thing. What makes manga good? And in my case, after consuming so many of those, I stopped remembering the names at this point. To me, what makes a good manga is that I forget about cliche plot. And what does it mean? It means that you can see where it's going. You see the pattern, you see the theme, you know who will be the killer in a criminal series because you read so many. But if you start to immerse yourself and forget about this, that means there is something special about the book. So this one is nice when it comes to Mobsters in Love, Chiyo Origami. When it comes to Mafia, and do I have anything else when it comes to Mafia? Girls. Obviously, the Dangerous Convenience Store. Like there is this. Maybe let me see how what can I show you outside of camera view. We don't want to be banned. So this is Big Baddie, Mafia guy. Yeah, so 6 volume out. I really like the covers. It's manhwa, not manga. from Korea. Seventh volume with special content is coming in the future. Um, Amazon is where you can find the manga. Good manga? It depends, but there's a high probability that you will find something in there. Mafia, other mafia. I don't think I have anything else when it comes to mafia. Okay, any other question? Let's give it 5 more minutes and then we'll be finishing this lovely stream. If there will be any last question, or yeah, let's limit to the last one if there will be. As I said, Wednesday, same time. I use this time because I believe it's most convenient for most of the subscribers of this channel, because although I'm in Europe, the biggest audience in US. So also give us some suggestions when it comes to time, that maybe this is not the best time slot, maybe a little bit later. This is something I can also readjust. I'll be creating some polls with questions to make this a great time slot for everyone and great time. Okay, I don't see any other questions. You can always leave comments. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share if possible. My reward is engagement around the channel. I'm very happy. I thank all of the people who joined today. It makes me extremely happy because, again, I was praying that at least one person will be there. So it's nice that people showed up. Yeah. So like, share, comment, subscribe. I never asked for that. This is my first time. So please do it and see you next time. Thank you again, all of you, and bye bye.